Ladies and gents, I'm Lucy Reacts and this is Absolute Madlads, Alcibiades. I think it's Alcibiades, right? It's not Alcibiades, it's Alcibiades. By the channel count Dankula. Yeah, Alcibiades, the legendary playboy figure from, Greek times. He was a character in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It was fun. Yeah, Odyssey, yeah. So this is gonna be a fun video. I think this is the guy who rips off the dick of all the Hermes statue. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a fun video. Remember, people, if you like my reaction, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the reaction. There's a link in the description. Check out the cast, all the different players like Holy Sarcastic Production, where I react to lots of Greek mythology and things. Internet historian CGB Gray, Kozgazat in a nutshell, real life lore, and yeah, let's watch this one. Remember, people, if you want me to react to any video, comment down. Even if I don't reply, I'll eventually react to it, even if it's from this channel or any other. And yeah, let's watch this one.
Given how popular Assassin's Creed Odyssey has become, I feel it's a little bit appropriate to do a Mad Lads on one of the characters featured in the game, who, despite the calm and rather flamboyant way that he acts, he has one hell of a story that definitely qualifies him for Mad Lads. Alcibiades. Alcibiades was a native to Athens and he was born in roughly 450 BC. He was from a family of aristocrats and he was a very well respected statesman, politician and general in Athens. The most striking thing about him was his looks. A lot of people would even go as far as to say that he was the most attractive man in all of Greece. He was a very, very pretty man. And women and men would be lining up at his door to get some of that Alcibiadic, which he was more than happy to offer because Alcibiades was having sex with everyone. Everyone.
Open this door or I'll kick it in!
Don't mind her.
Yeah, I remember that
scene.
scene.
To watch. Look at you. Such authority. Such aggression. I can see why Pericles has taken such an interest in you. Did you come to join us?
It sounded like someone was in pain.
Well, it can sometimes be hard to distinguish between sounds of pleasure and pain. Had I known you were going to knock, I would have left my door wide open for you.
Even apparently Socrates, one of the founders of Western philosophy, was even banging Alcibiades.
What?
Apparently Socrates even wrote some works about...
Socrates was doing that? Huh. I don't think there was any reference of that from the game, but damn, that is something. Wasn't Socrates old by then? I don't know.
how hot Alcibiades was.
Now, dear teacher, I think you should whisk me away for our private lesson.
I'm afraid I haven't had enough wine for that, Alcibiades.
Then someone fill his cup.
There's the
So
reference.
we've laid the groundwork for who Alcibiades
I forgot that. I thought they were just making a joke. Damn.
was. A very, very attractive and very, very influential man. Now, having a life like that might lead a man to think that he can do whatever the hell he wants. And that's just what Alcibiades did. During peacetime between Sparta and Athens, Segesta in Sicily appealed to Athens for help in a conflict that was forming between them and Syracuse, a place on the opposite side of Sicily. Syracuse, however, was allied with Sparta, so a lot of intelligent people said that it would probably be best if no one got involved in the conflict so that they can avoid having an all-out war with Sparta. However, Alcibiades had a counter-proposal. Fuck all that shit. Let's just build the biggest navy the world has ever seen, sail over there, and instead of helping Segesta, let's just conquer all of Sicily in the name of Athens, because fuck the consequences. And Alcibiades,
Let's be honest, if you're that good looking, if you're just banging everything that moves, your confidence is pretty high by now, and you don't think about consequences at that point. You're like, screw that, I can do anything. We are, Athenians, we have lots of, big navy. Screw that, we're gonna take everything. We're not afraid of Sparta.
with his good looks that gave him plus 99 charisma, was easily able to convince everyone to go along with this very, very bad idea. And Alcibiades, using his looks and charm to convince people into going along with very bad ideas, is something that he did a lot. Alcibiades was given command of this huge fleet that was to set sail for Sicily. However, right before the fleet was due to depart, Alcibiades did something quite strange. All over Athens there were these statues called herms, which were dedicated to the god Hermes, who is the god who watches over travellers. So it obviously would be very, very unwise for Alcibiades to upset such a god right before he departs on his voyage. But instead, what Alcibiades did was got very, very drunk and ran all over Athens, ripping the dicks off of all the statues because, fuck you bitch, I'm Alcibiades. While Alcibiades and his fleet were sailing to Sicily, Alcibiades was recalled back to Athens to stand trial over him ripping the dicks off of all the
Yeah, I mean, again, if you're that good looking, if you're banging everyone, your confidence is so high, you're at that point somewhat of a narcissist, if anything. So you're like, I don't need your luck, screw you, Hermes, or something like that. So probably he got drunk and did all that.
Statues. While Alcibiades was heading back to Athens, he just sort of decided, nah, fuck that, turned left and instead went straight to Sparta, where he then assisted the Spartan king and generals by handing over all of the information that he knew about Athens' military power and tactics so that he could assist the Spartans in defeating Athens. So Alcibiades lived with the Spartans for a few years, where he was quite successful in being a personal advisor to the Spartan kings and all.
Damn. I mean, yeah, by that point it's like, oh, you're gonna screw me or what? Screw you. I'm going to the Spartans. Nobody will think doing that. Spartans, not much of reasonable people, more angry bunch. But he knew that he could talk his way through inside of that. He knew he could bargain with them just because of his good looks.
Also the generals, until a day came when the Spartan king's wife gave birth to a baby. A baby who had the same hair colour as Alcibiades, the same light skin tone as Alcibiades, the same facial structure as well. Come to think of it, Alcibiades, did you hear that the king's wife gave birth to a baby that looks exactly like you? Well, I guess it's time to leave. Which was wise because the Spartan king demanded that Alcibiades be arrested, but Alcibiades had already fled to Persia by this point.
Okay, this is so Hollywood, isn't it? That any movie starts where some good-looking protagonist or the main hero of the story, the movie starts with, oh, okay, we have to hurry, it's time to move. And then you realize he just banged the wife of the king there, and then he runs away, and that's how the movie starts, something like that. This is so that. I mean, somebody should make a movie for Alcibiades or something like that.
Where he became a direct advisor to Persian governors. This man was able to get into the highest reaches of Athenian, Spartan, and Persian government just through the power of his charisma and good looks alone. But he didn't fuck anyone's wife this time. He'd learned his lesson.
A small thing may very well make a huge impact.
He then, from a distance, managed to sort of manipulate and twist a lot of Athenian politics so that he could swing things so that he wouldn't be in any trouble when he came back.
All right. What about the politician?
He was brilliant and opposed me. A fatal combination. So he needed replacing, and I had a much dumber man perfect for the job.
He always wanted to return to Athens, and when he did manage to finally come back, despite the fact that he betrayed the city to Sparta, and that he manipulated so much of the city's politics, that plus 99 charisma and good looks saw him welcomed back as a hero, and all of the charges against him were dropped.
How?
Beautiful people have it so easy. Alcibiades was then just given his old roles back as a politician in general. However,
I think that would be more to this story than that. I think he came back with some kind of, I guess, redeeming thing. Maybe he brought back something or brought back some kind of intelligence, something. Or he made them think that he was playing the both sides or something like that. Because good looks alone would not get you off from being a traitor. So I think something happened here. I don't think just because his charisma and good looks, Athenian just like, you sold us out to Spartans of all people. You're fine.
However, that was short-lived because all of that came to an end when he was completely disgraced at the Battle of Notium. Alcibiades was commander of the Athenian fleet, and so Alcibiades was watching the Spartan fleet, but Alcibiades knew that they weren't strong enough to take on the Spartan fleet because the Spartan fleet was accepting deserters, mercenaries, you name it, but the Spartan fleet was also being led by the great Spartan general, Lysander. So Alcibiades was going to leave the Athenian fleet in his ship and 2 other accompanying ships so that he could get more funds and more soldiers for the fleet so that they would be able to take on the Spartan fleet. Alcibiades turned to his second in command, Antiochus, and says, I'm going to leave to get more soldiers and get more ships and get more money. I just want you to watch the Spartan fleet. Just watch them. Do not attack. Do not engage. Just watch them. And then as soon as Alcibiades left, Antiochus decided to immediately head-on assault the Spartan fleet. The entire Athenian fleet was destroyed.
Oh, a pity your brain isn't as big as your muscles.
Alcibiades ended up getting the blame for his helmsman being a complete sperg. This was mostly manipulated by a lot of Alcibiades' enemies back in Athens who tried to make sure that his shame and disgrace was amplified as much as they could possibly make it. And then what happened was Alcibiades decided to put himself into self-inflicted exile. So Alcibiades exiled himself to his castle in the Thracian Chersonese, and he never returned to Athens again. How Alcibiades died is kind of disputed, but there is...
Damn. He exiled himself to his castle. Oh, poor him. But yeah, it is kind of his fault. Come on, man. I don't care. If you don't have control over your man, that is your fault. I mean, there's a reason why there are only certain people who should lead. Because with leading, responsibilities come. Even your second in command does something, that's your damn fault. You should choose your second in command that always follows you regardless of what. If he's just going to betray your order as soon as you leave, that's your fault.
One common story that most historians seem to agree with. Lysander of the Spartans discovered that Alcibiades was living in exile and he now no longer had the support of Athens, so he knew that this would be an excellent time to go and kill Alcibiades and finally get revenge for all those years that Alcibiades spent banging all their wives.
What do you want? This is for you. Give it here. Is this some kind of joke? This is a cast of someone's dick. What's this engraving? This is for your wife, Thalia, for when she starts to miss me. Tell me now, who said this?
Lysander sent his assassins to Alcibiades' castle, and while Alcibiades was bathing, the assassins surrounded the castle and set it on fire. Alcibiades immediately ran outside, butt naked, with nothing but a dagger, and just started stabbing the assassins, but Alcibiades was finally brought down in a shower of arrows, and apparently he only went down after he was struck by 15 arrows. This man managed to influence 3 very powerful nations simply through
I feel like that's exaggeration. I don't think that happened. I mean, the story could have gone like, he banged so many people that he had so many enemies by now, so they just went there and killed him, burned his castle, and then killed him. 15 arrows and all this is just story. It's exaggeration.
The power of his good looks and charm, as well as being an accomplished politician, warrior, tactician, and general. Don't let the flamboyant, theatrical way he acts in Assassin's Creed fool you. There's a lot more to him than meets the eye.
Yeah.
The man who cucked Sparta.
It's Count Dankula on YouTube. Everybody should subscribe.
He had the good looks, obviously. He had the charisma, and he was a great politician. He knows, who to basically kill, who to support, what to do, when to do it. I mean, the guy basically, decided to destroy all the Hermes statues. Then Athens wanted to, prosecute him. He just went to Sparta, like, fuck you, Athens. Then he knew that in order to go back to Athens, he needs to do something. I'm pretty sure he did some political thing where it was beneficial to Athens, or maybe he just greased some politician here and there to get their support or whatever. But he went back to Athens with open arms. That is just ridiculous. You don't just do that because of your good looks. So he didn't have just good looks, but he was also a great politician and also good enough general, I guess. But yeah, he should have chosen his team member in a way that, they were more loyal to him. That thing screwed him, basically. His second in command screwed him. But yeah. But if, as the lives go, he lived better life than almost anyone has ever lived. Because, yeah, this is just ridiculous. I mean, no matter how many Assassin's Creed Odyssey you play, you are not going to have same level of fun that Alcibiades had in his real life. So that is that. Alright people, if you like my reaction, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the reaction, there's a link in the description. Check out the console playlist, check out the end cards, and I'll see you next time.